Hello and welcome to LXMPRO 702, brought to you by Champion and Adrenaline. I'm Chris Marshall, and you are watching the LXMPRO Tour live on the Lacrosse Network. Pretty chilly evening here in Las Vegas. Under 40 degrees, pretty windy. Certainly not ideal conditions, but very excited to bring a high level of lacrosse here to Las Vegas as Bratton moves the ball down to Bitter. And the tour right now in SDX's favor, 5-2. There's a big time shot coming from Bitter, but Russell all over it as that one goes right over the top and backed up by Maverick. Corp coming across, takes the shot, and another save by Russell as we are tied at 0-0 at the beginning of this game. And as always, I will be taking your questions, comments, tweets, anything you've got at CMarshallTLN. Again, that's at CMarshallTLN. Delaney just getting mugged, trying to get across. Great ride coming from Team Maverick as Bitter brings the ball in. And he's one of those guys, he's so scrappy, loves the contact. Get in there, not afraid to hit you, not afraid to get hit. And definitely one of those guys that Maverick is going to have to lean on today to win this game. Bratton moving the ball around. Back up to Whit McCarthy. Going against Kyle Harrison. Sorry, that's Xander Ritz. Takes a shot, and that one just off the mark. Xander Ritz again wearing those signature tights, and it looks like there's a lot of other guys out there taking some style cues from Mr. Ritz. It's a great spin move coming around the corner, and there's a goal for Maverick, the first of the game. And that's a great goal coming from Whit McCarthy, coming around the corner in the invert at just under 13 minutes to go in the first. And that's 1-0 for Maverick United. Whit McCarthy with his first goal of the game. And again, Whit McCarthy's one of those guys I like to talk about. He's got a real rip. I mean, well into the triple digits. I've seen him hit 106, 107. You see the replay here. Able to turn the corner, get his hands free, take the shot, and score the great goal there. There's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do with that if you're Matt Russell. He's right on the doorstep. Another face-off win for STX as Baum has it. No, Baum opting not to go with the tights. I saw him earlier before the game. A lot of these guys warming up in the full sweatsuits and trying to stay loose might be a little bit of a challenge for some of these guys who aren't going both ways. So Worley moves it. There's Bradman not getting any space up top. There's Harrison, rolls back again. Another loses his footing and scores the goal. Low-to-low worm burner. What a shot by Kyle Harrison. And Kyle Harrison again looking really, really sharp. He's one of those guys who's really been able to find his stride later in the season, playing some of the best lacrosse he's ever played. I had the opportunity to talk to him before the game, and really impressed with what he's been able to do to maintain such a high level this long into the game. There's another face-off win. You see Tintle rocking those Volt tights, pretty slick. There's Jerry Lamb able to get the ball across, flips it to Corp. Corp can't come up with it. Let's see if he's going to be able to get the ground ball. Tries to deke it, and then kicked by Nick Farrell, one of the additions for Team SDX, but the ball out of bounds going back to Maverick. Maverick back to Rodriguez with the one-handed catch, moving the ball up. He promised me he'd score a goal at least one time this season. Able to get the ball up to Bratton. Bratton very dangerous, the second leading scorer for Team Maverick, 18 goals on the season. Really been a catalyst in the midfield for Maverick. Over to Lindsay. And Lindsay wearing those custom Syracuse Hirachis. He cuts back. Some of the players having a little trouble with their footing, loses the handle. And there's great defense coming from Team SDX. Ball down low. STX goes for the over-the-head check. Can't get it. Looking across for Delaney. Can't quite find him. Might have wanted to take that shot. Looked like he had an angle, but picked up by Baum as the ball stays with STX. There's Harrison moving the ball. And again, a real chilly night here. And Corp stuck on defense. Just have to think that this is the favorable matchup. Sorry, that's Burrell. Also wearing number 2. There's Ritz dodging from up top. Has the shorty. Have to think that's a good matchup. Gets it to Kyle Harrison, who's able to corral the pass. Again, going on a shorty. Look inside, takes a shot, and what a goal by Max Ritz. It's a fantastic shot, able to get the handle inside, turn, and bury the shot. And from that close, there's nothing you're going to be able to do in the pipes if you are Johnny Rodriguez. Fantastic shot and goal by Ritz. And you see Kyle Harrison come inside. Nice catch, quick shot. Easy money for Team STX as they take the lead 2-1 in the game, looking to close the door on the series on Maverick. Ball still out. Tintle trying to run the ball down. There's Tom Cesare, another one of the additions for Team STX, able to chase that down. And there's Crum, just barely able to stop right there at the edge, but let Xander Ritz have it. STX looking pretty comfortable. It's Matt Brown, the one of the coaches at DU, and one of the all-time leading scorers there as well. So definitely happy to have him out here tonight for Team STX. Again, another one of the late additions. And Johnny Rodriguez, he does such a good job of coming out of the cage and picking those balls off. And the same. Ball up top, has the pole. Looking for the match, moves it to Bitter. It's Bitter going against McDonald. Back up to Bratton. Nice look inside, can't quite keep the handle. Gets it back up to Bratton. Bratton looking inside, trying to get the touch pass in, but picked off. There's a big-time hit behind the play as STX goes out on the break, and they are so dangerous in these unsettled situations. Any one of these guys can just bury the shot. See Baum opts to pull it back out, go back into a little bit of the settled offense, playing some 4-on-4 right now until they get the guys in. Takes the shot, and that one saved by Rodriguez, and back out to Maverick. Moving the ball up, here's Burrell. And Burrell's got a world of speed. Look at him come through the middle. Loses the handle, great check. And you see Crum coming across, trying to do one of those quick stick shots that he is famous for. Now Baum, one-on-one, so dangerous. Uphill, downhill, takes the bounce shot, buries it. And Baum, unstoppable from that angle. I mean, you see him come in, and he's so dangerous because of his speed. You give him like a half step, he takes that shot, bounces it off stick, hip side, changes the plane of the shot. There's just nothing you can do to stop that. But another one of those guys for STX who there's nothing you can do when you have a one-on-one situation like that in the unsettled offense. Your defense isn't quite set up, and he's just so athletic. And there's Max Davis going against Tintle again. It's the ball down. Hear him call for the release. Bitter almost able to come up with that, and that's one thing that I know. I've talked to a couple of these STX guys. Coach Kaz talking about the pride that they have in their defense, really picking up the pace in the last few events. I mean, when you talk about Team STX, I mean, you obviously have to talk about guys like Bradman or Kyle Harrison or Peter Baum, you know, a lot of the big name offensive guys, but some of the unsung heroes on the defensive side of the ball have really been what's winning the games for Team STX the last few events. Coming away with a couple squeakers, just 1-2 goal games, and defense coming up with really big stops as Bratton coming across trying to get the shot, takes the rip and buries the shot. Nice. I don't think Russell saw that at all, as it just goes right into the goal, and that was stick side. You don't see him get beat that often. You can see him calling for it, pointing at his chest. That one's on me. As you see him come through and right into the back of the net, and you see Delaney unable to stop Bratton from turning the corner. And again, it's going to be Tintle and Davis going at it at the face-off X. Ball still down. This is Benson Irwin trying to get in there. Another one of those guys who I just love to watch play. Benson Irwin really takes pride in his defense and does a really good job. The ball up, finds Bitter. It's Roger Ferguson for Team Maverick, able to bring the ball across. And there's Crum. As we talked about Crum the last few events, really picking up the pace in terms of his individual dodging. A guy that has always been dangerous on the crease, but really doing a lot to work on his game on a north-south level, able to create some shots for himself on the dodge. There's a big-time rip and a shot. What a goal coming for Team Maverick. You see that low to high rip, and I mean, that's just a fantastic shot. We've seen some not that many goals, but they've all been really great goals. We got a question coming in from Jack Cargill. Wants to know who has the better uniforms tonight. You know, that's a tough call. I mean, I have to say that I'm a big fan of both uniforms. I mean, the Maverick ones look really great with the white, especially out here at night under the lights. I mean, the white really just pops. But then you see the STX jerseys with the black with the pink lettering on them. It's a tough call. I mean, what do you think out there, guys? What is your favorite uniform that you've seen on the LXMPRO Tour so far? Nice little hitch, keeps it in his stick, buries the shot. And there's another goal for Team STX. I'm not sure what's going on with the defense for Team Maverick, but you don't see guys come through like that. And you see that little hitch move that Bradman loves to go to, gets inside, switches the hand, and just buries it on the near side of the goal. And Johnny Rodriguez just couldn't do anything but watch that one go in the back of the net. Just about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. STX pulling away a little bit, able to get on top here, a couple goals. And again, there's Davis able to win the faceoff, flips it to himself out of the back of his stick. And flips the ball out. It's Harrison. And it's 4-3 in favor of Team STX. A little flurry of goals there in the last couple of minutes, as both teams have been able to go up and down the field and put some shots in the back of the net. In tight. There's a nice little two-man game coming from Ritz. Takes the shot and just off the edge of the goal. But a really good look. You see that two-man pick game, you know, pretty similar to the old John Stockton, Karl Malone pick and roll. But able to get his hands free, and you have to think that Ritz wants that one back. See Baum trying to get around the corner. Fantastic defense coming out of Maverick. There's the shot, and that one's saved by Rodriguez. Ball still down, finally picked up by Ferguson, and then knocked right back out of his stick. One thing we've seen from both these teams is a really solid ride. These teams are out there, they know that it's cold, and they got to start doing the little things to make sure that they can win this game, as Ferguson tries to roll back. Nice little flip pass inside, and Maverick is off to the races. You see Bitter looks inside, able to shake off the other defenseman and then bury the shot. What a move. And you see it's just a little bit of a hesitation move where he looks like he's going to make that pass inside to Crum, who's so open, and then he's just all by himself with that little spin move. What a shot. Unstoppable force. Billy Bitter. the game is now back to being tied at 4 apiece. 3:44 to go in the quarter. Already 8 goals, plenty of scoring going on for both these teams. After some of the defensive battles we've seen in the last couple events, you look at Sacramento and Dallas, and teams only scoring like 11 or 12 goals, or even less. I think we had the first game where we had a 9-goal team as well. Keep it in the single digits. It's incredible to think that the defense can play well enough to keep these high-powered offenses under 10 goals. But that's what's been happening. So really a lot of scoring out there. As Bratton fighting through the double team, get his hands free in that left, and then able to take the shot. Looked like there might have been a little bit of a lift there to disrupt the shot, but no problem as Bitter's able to pick it up and move the ball back around. As Maverick looking very comfortable in their offensive set. Again, keep your questions, comments coming. I'd love to hear where you're watching from, who you think's going to win, what you think about the uniforms, anything you want to let us know. So nice look across. There's Corp, and that one just off the mark. Look, it might have caught the pipe. But a great look inside, coming across the crease from Bitter, hits Corp right in the stick, and then can't quite finish it right on the doorstep. There's Bratton, gets his hands free, takes the shot, and another good trail check on the back end, able to disrupt that shot from Bratton. 2:38 to go in the quarter. It was Nick Mooney, the Salisbury grad, one of the many Salisbury players out there. And those are great checks as Corp loses the handle as Casimir able to knock that ball loose on the wrap check. There's Delaney, and Delaney's got a head of speed coming in, and Elaine, if he pulls it back out, cuts back to his left, opts to pull the ball back out, but looked like he definitely had a lane there. Just 2 minutes to go in the quarter, and a 4-4 game. You have to think that the way this is going, it's going to be a real shootout, and you're going to need to keep scoring those goals. As Harrison able to get the ball up top and moves the ball back around as Worley able to hold on to the ball. One of those players that came over in the Bratton trade earlier this season before the Chicago event. And that one's going to be backed up by Worley. And Rodriguez is going to have to get back into his cage because they don't have that 5-second buffer that they're used to. New rule, and that one right into the stick of Rodriguez. Rodriguez able to hold on to it. There's good pressure from Brown coming into the crease. Gets it to Pollard. Pollard, another one of those guys who's really, really good with his stick. So definitely something that Team STX is going to have to look after, because he will hit you on a dime all the way down the field. See Whit McCarthy going to get the ball up top. Nice fake. But defenseman doesn't bite as he gets it to Bitter. Closing in on the end of this first quarter as Bitter loses his man again. It's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen him just shake the cleats off his defenseman as Xander Ritz moving the ball up. Great look from Russell. Ritz looking across, had bomb, opts to send it back across to Ritz, takes the behind the back shot. Sorry, that's Brown. Can't quite hit it, but fantastic effort coming from Brown. Another question coming in from Max Bree. What is expected of Kyle Harrison tonight? I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but Kyle Harrison is playing as well as he's ever played. I mean, he's a real specimen. It's incredible the way that he's able to keep himself in shape and for the most part injury-free. And I feel like this is one of the first times. It's a big shot by Baum, just off the mark. Doesn't miss very many of those. But where he's really 100% healthy, and he's coming off the tryouts for Team USA and playing a lot of lacrosse right now, and really, really looking sharp. There's Ritz looking across, and no problem for Rodriguez as he's able to cut the pass off, but throws the ball away, and that's picked up by Casimir, who's able to flip it inside before going out of bounds. And there's about 2 seconds to go in the first. And that's going to do it for the first quarter, tied 4-4. And we've had some really fantastic goals early on. You see Bradman come through and score a really great goal. coming from the other side, and you can see it's I'm all bundled up. It is quite cold here tonight, but a beautiful event, fantastic venue. Happy to be here in Henderson, Nevada for LXMPRO 702, brought to you by Champion. As always, we'll be taking your tweets, comments, questions at CMarshallTLN, so send them my way. I'd love to hear from you, where you are watching from, who you think's going to win, who your favorite player is. But we're going to have to go over some of the players to watch for Team STX. I mean, you can't mention Team STX and not talk about Kyle Harrison, Peter Baum, Sam Bradman. All three of those guys, really, really talented players. 2 Tewaaraton Trophy winners with Baum and Harrison. Baum winning 2 years ago for Colgate, but they're so dangerous. A lot of north-south movement. You see them coming in, and especially Peter Baum right now is really, really running well. Such an athlete, dangerous player. And then you get a guy like Sam Bradman, and I like to talk about how kind of unconventional Sam's game is. He played a lot of box lacrosse growing up out in Maryland and in Canada, and you can tell that the things that he does with his stick are things that you come to see from guys who grew up playing box lacrosse. It's just a little hitch moves, little body fake, able to lose his defenders, and he does a lot of really special things with his stick. The only other player I've seen do the same kind of things in the unique way that he does it is Mikey Powell. And as all of you know, Mikey Powell, one of the greatest to ever play the game. So I mean, I think the upside for Sam is sky high. Really, really talented player. Very exciting to watch. And I mean, he's a testament to why you should go out there and play box lacrosse in addition to outdoor lacrosse to help build on those additional skills. And there's Tintle, wins the faceoff, can't come up with the ground ball as STX back on the offensive side of the field as we are just underway here in the second quarter. This one coming in from Cody Matthews' tweet, "You're chilly tonight because you shaved your mustache." I have to say that that's probably what it is. My lip is so cold. But it's December now, so I had to let it go. But again, Maverick playing solid defense. Again, we've seen the goals coming on some fantastic individual play where Baum and Ritz able to get their hands free, and that one right in the back. See Tintle trying to run the ball down, and that one sneaks through, and Bitter able to pick the ball up, absorbs that check from Ritz, and able to do a really good job of protecting that ball and getting the rest of the Maverick guys back on the offensive side of the field. And it's really good to see Maverick slowing the ball down a little bit. I mean, they're going to have to give their defense a little bit of a break out there because they were out there on defense for nearly a minute going against the high-powered STX offense. That one looked like it might have been a little high on that wrap check, but able to get the ball to Bratton and over to McCarthy. McCarthy's one of those guys who's got real change of pace abilities. He cuts on a dime. It's incredible to see some of the things that he can do just side to side. Inside, there's the double, triple even coming to Bitter. He's able to pull it back out, and that one picked off by Harrison. Again, student of the game, able to find that passing lane. Throws the BTB pass coming inside, wants the ball back, has a lane, takes the shot, and that one right out of his stick. That one deep into the parking lot, into the cheap seats up there. That one just slipped out of his stick a little bit. Looked like he might have lost the handle on that top hand. As Ritz coming out, takes a big-time check from Pollard, and he wanted the flag there as Pollard just comes across, takes the ball right away from him, and gets the ball up to Tintle. And that's one of those things we talked to Hamilton on the lacrosse show the other day. Big-time shot from Tintle just off the mark. And he talks about how much he prides himself on the footwork, and that's why he's able to maintain such a high level of play at 36, which is incredible. You see some of those guys that he gets matched up with, get like a Peter Baum or a Tim Desko, guys 10, 12 years younger than he is, and he's still able to go out there and take the ball away. Really, really impressive stuff, the way that the longevity he's had in the game. And I mean, it's just testament. If you have good footwork, you can do anything. There's the behind the back shot coming from Lindsay. And that one's going to stay with Maverick as we are tied here at 4 in the second quarter. Ball down. Still down. You see Delaney trying to get it straight up and then knocked out of his stick. Delaney still got a shot at it, but finally picked up by Maverick. And they're back on the break, trying to get back into that settled situation for the offense. It's going to be another shot for Maverick, another possession shot, doing a really good job of backing up the shots while they're on offense. See Maverick working back into their offense. Just over 11 minutes to go in the half. Still 4-4 after a flurry of goals to end the first quarter. Been pretty quiet so far here for about 5 minutes. But any one of these teams can go off. And there's McCarthy takes the shot. What a save by Russell. Saw that the whole way, off stick high, able to get it. And what a catch by Harrison. Sorry, that's Davis. But fantastic athletic display there. And there's a coming across. Nice run by Delaney. That one might have got caught in the wind a little bit, tried to lob it in there. Probably would have been better off trying to really fire it in there to Delaney. I think both of them were just surprised at how open he was there. Big time shot. What a shot. Top shelf. Goal for Maverick. Unbelievable shot. Top shelf. You can see the replay here. Cut across, nice stick fake. Able to rip the shot off stick high. Can't put it any further into the corner. That's a fantastic finish. I mean, and there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about that if you're Matt Russell. And that was from Adrln Prosser, a midi out of Drexel, making an appearance again, his third event of the season. Really a talented player taking charge for Team Maverick. And there's another win by Davis. Get the ball in, little low. Unable. We've seen a couple of errant passes here today. It's pretty windy. It's very cold. You have to think maybe that playing some tricks on these guys' hands, having a little trouble keeping the handle on the stick there. There's Rodriguez taking across, and he told me he was going to take a shot, but he loses the handle, cutting back to the goal. But like I said, he said he was going to score a goal this season, and I tend to believe him. I know that he's scored them in the past at other levels, but one of the really, really exciting goalkeepers to watch. And he's so athletic that I mean you can't be mad at him for doing that on the offensive side. I know we've seen Russell go down and take a shot. And there's Corp working on the pick, the two-man game. As you see them going to that double, doing a really good job of the support defense as Bratton coming from up top. Wants to go back to his left, takes the low to high rip, and that one just off the mark at just under 10 minutes to go in the half. Another possession shot for Maverick. And that one just off the mark for Corp. But another one of those guys, he's kind of a quiet guy, both on and off the field, and you don't see him as one of the flashy players, but he goes out there and does work. Tell you what, Corp, one of those guys who go out there and very quietly work his way to a 4 or 5 goal game, and you know, you feel like you're not even really calling his number that often. It just looks so natural for him out there on the field, able to really get in there and do some damage. There's Bratton backing in, takes the shot, and again, that one just off the mark as Russell is all over it. And Davis out on the run, nobody's going to him. Moves the ball across in the fast break, over to Ritz. Ritz takes the shot, and that one just off the mark. It looks like that one's going to stay with STX. See if they get the quick whistle here as Rodriguez way out of his cage to try and back that up. But really doing a good job as Kyle Harrison. There's that split dodge that he's famous for. Unbelievable. He still got it so quick. I mean, you get him out there matched up with some pretty solid defenders. As you see, they have Hamilton Pollard out there playing on him now. which will be an interesting matchup. There's Bradman able to run that ball down, flips it to Ritz through the triple team. There's Ritz, wants to come across, takes the shot into the cage. Let's see, it's going to be a looks like it's going to be a crease violation. I think that's probably the right call there. It didn't look like he quite got the shot off before diving into the crease, and he ran into Rodriguez, and that's pretty much what's going to happen in that situation. But like I said before, pretty quiet so far. Only one goal for either team in this quarter after 8 in the first. Tentel moves the ball back up to Prosser. Prosser working on Delaney. Has the short stick, scored the last goal, the only goal of the quarter for Maverick. But another one of those guys, a real north-south guy, can really get it going. Complete burner. See Tentel coming out through the midfield. Looks like McCarthy coming on. See Prosser coming over for the pick. McCarthy working on the pole. And back to behind. There's Bitter. And again, another one of those guys just change of direction. He cuts back so quickly. I mean, you really don't have any time to react. So move the ball back up top to Prosser. Prosser with that split takes the rip, and that one saved. And then what a goal! That slam dunk goal. Crummy doing what Crummy does, able to get on the crease and just bury the quick stick shot. That one comes up, and you see Crum just bat it in. I mean, he's so dangerous on the crease. I mean, resourceful. He's the garbage man in there. Anything you give him, he'll take. And that's a fantastic goal. A really, really good play on the crease from Mayor Crum. And that's something you need to watch. If you're a young player, a young attackman, and you see the way that Crum carries his stick and the way that he's always in the right spot. I mean, if you get a chance, watch him. All of his movement around the offensive side. He always puts himself in a position to score a goal and to be dangerous. And I mean, I think that's the most important part. It's not just taking the shots or taking big rips, because I mean that wasn't a hard shot. It's a matter of finding the positioning that puts you in a position to be dangerous on offense, and that's what he does. And there's Harrison holding onto the ball as STX going to do some subbing, working on a 4-on-6 right now. Probably not the best time to go. Tuning in from Baltimore, Maryland, and wants to know if I'm wearing a bow tie under that. And that's a silly question. Of course, I'm wearing a bow tie under this. But thanks for asking. And then Max Bree also wants to know if Billy Bitter is expected to be the face of Team Maverick tonight. I mean, you can't help but think that that's probably what's going to be the case. He's one of those guys, a real kind of a polarizing figure in lacrosse. A super nice guy. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better face for a team like Team Maverick. Goes out there and he does the dirty work. And I mean, I think that's what you need out of one of your star players, to go out there and he's not afraid of the contact. In fact, he likes it. He wants to get his shoulder into you and create some space for the shot. And that one just off the mark by McCarthy. But create that contact, get some separation for himself, and go out there and get some ground balls. I mean, he gets hit. And there's a big time shot right off the pipe, but a good take coming from Corp again. As you see him, he's sneaky, gets in there just off the defenseman's shoulder. I mean, textbook shot. I mean, the fundamentals that he has are really, really fantastic. There's a big-time shot, and that one looks like it's on the outside of the goal, like Maverick wanted to chalk that one up already. but Prosser unable to finish that around the corners, it just on the outside of the goal. Might have been better off taking maybe one more step forward before letting that shot rip. Might have got hit, but would have definitely improved his angle on the shot. It's Worley up top, and again STX going into the offense after bringing Ritz on in the sub.
Chris, it's 49 degrees in the trailer. We know how you feel.
And moving the ball again very well as Baum, who's been pretty quiet so far. A lot of the goals coming out of the unsettled situation. Nice look inside and just off the mark from Brown. Brown doesn't miss very many of those. Again, one of the all-time leading scorers at DU and associate head coach there now. Happy to have him out here today. Coaching some of the youth programs, and I know this is something I touch on every event, but it's always really exciting to get an event like this one. Nearly 100 youth teams playing here in Henderson, Nevada at the ATS event. A lot of kids having a really good time out here playing, and all these pros have been out here since 6 or 7 in the morning, coaching, putting on clinics, and that's something that really sets this event apart. It's an exciting event to be a part of because you really see the passion that all these guys have for not only playing the game, but for sharing their knowledge of the game to kids. And I mean, they eat it up. It's fantastic. And that's, I think, the biggest factor. And there's a big time shot by Lindsay just off the mark, but I think that's the biggest factor in the growth of the game on the West Coast is what these guys are doing, and they're happy to be here, and you can really see it in the way that they're teaching lacrosse to these kids. And there's Bratton. You see Davis. This is one of those matchups that we've really been excited to see. It's that short stick defense. It's that same matchup we used to see where Bratton would go against Chris Ajimian last season, and you see those shorty defenders who are so good, and it's really exciting. And that one just off the mark, but a real good effort by Corp. Corp could have 4 or 5 goals already. I mean, he's getting around the corner. He's just
So the idea that we're bringing a bunch of world-class players to them is something that they appreciate. And again, you'll see tomorrow they'll be ravenous on the sidelines. It's difficult to know what the matchups will be like tomorrow. We know that they have an unbelievable midfield. They're good from front to back, as we are as well. But
a fantastic dive. Definitely speed. Packman, you'll see him on the Maverick side of the ball.
As Graham Gill unable to get a shot off. Nice look inside there. Flurry of shots right at the end by Maverick United. Really fantastic play at both these teams. STX Biz is letting him play as Brad gets by. Lucky enough to get the hold, but it does as he buries the goal, puts the lead to 2. Nice Christmas. Christmas takes the rip and scores the goal. Looking inside, working on Drennan, takes the shot just off the mark. Picked up by inside for Bitter and inside to Crum. And Crum making it look easy again, doing what Crum does. Buries the shot. What a check right to Christmas. Christmas gets the shot. Scores the goal. That's number 4 on the day for him, and we've seen it go both ways. Right place, right time. What a goal by Christmas. And there's Hennigan really doing his job today, playing fantastically well, and Coach Burrows wants a timeout.
Hey, 2 up top, 3 across, Billy behind. We'll go set a shorty pick on him, turn that corner, f***ing bury. Go, buddy, here we go.
Lindsay might come off for the pick here. Try and get the matchup. And Bitter able to get a stick inside. What a save by Russell. Huge save as Bitter's on the doorstep. And that's gonna do it as Team STX takes the victory at LXMOC 14-13.
I thought we did an awesome job out there, especially for the first time playing with this group of guys. Definitely a huge step moving forward, and I couldn't have had more of a good time out there today. So definitely happy with the outcome.
Everyone's really into it. The crowd was awesome. The support from all our sponsors is great. The rivalry is really there. Every time we step on the field, we want to win. When we hit that field, it's like you're back in college again.
A lot of these fans will be at that game on June 22nd down in San Diego. So I think it sets that event up for a great bit of competition between these two teams.
Battle. I mean, it's a battle. It's definitely a precursor to a crazy season. You guys are going to get after each other all season long.
And welcome back to the LXM Pro Tour LXM 702 live from Henderson, Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas. Very happy to be here and bringing you a very high level of lacrosse coming from Las Vegas. But very good game here in the first half, 6-5 in favor of Team Maverick, who's done a really good job, especially defensively. You see the play out of their goalie Johnny Rodriguez, as well as their poles. Obviously, you got Hamilton Pollard. But you see a bunch of the guys really stepping up on the defensive end of the field and able to keep STX to just one goal in the second quarter, which is no easy task. And get to a couple more of these tweets here. This one coming from Aiden Knight. C. Marshall TLN, your eyes are beautiful. Thank you, appreciate that. But happy to take all of your tweets, comments, questions, anything you got coming my way at C. Marshall TLN. That one back up to Harrison, who's going to bring the ball in. And a great question, this one coming from Drew Zazara, wants to know about how the Brandon Porter miss will affect Team Maverick. And it's one of those things. He's not only a good player going both ways, big time shot coming from Ritz just off the mark, but he's a real kind of locker room guy. I mean, you can't ask for a nicer guy than Brandon Porter. I mean, he's a fantastic human being, and a really good player. And I mean, I think you can't understate what he brings to the table for Team Maverick. I mean, he's such a big guy, and athletically, he's so fast and strong that he does a lot of things really well. But congratulations to Brandon and his wife, who welcomed a new baby into the world this weekend. So very, very happy for you, and wish you the best, and I'm excited to see you next week in Florida. And Tintle bringing the ball across. But thanks, Drew. Great question. Love to keep your questions, comments coming. Get to as many of them as I possibly can. Coach Randy Harris tuning in says that I look cold, and that's because I am. No acting here. But again, mentioned it earlier. Very, very chilly night here in Las Vegas. And, shot just off the mark for Maverick. And this one coming in from Roseville, Minnesota, from Louis Denny, where it's -10 outside. That's cold. As Bitter coming around the corner again. We talked about how much he likes the contact. There's big time rip, huge shot just off the mark, but another possession shot for Maverick. There's Bitter coming across. Looking for the feed, finds McCarthy up top. McCarthy with the left-handed shot, and that one right into the side of Crum, and that feels terrible. There's a big-time rip, and what a goal! STX back on the board for the first time here in the second half. Fantastic shot and goal for Team STX. And that's Jesse Fair, the Harvard and Duke grad. Played the fifth year at Duke after Harvard undergrad. Canadian player, and really making his impact felt as he scores a fantastic goal. Another question coming in from Alex, who wants to know about more about the FIL championship and what thoughts are on that. And I'm pretty excited that it's coming back to America, Denver, over the summer 2014 World Games. So I'm hopeful I can get out there and check it out. I mean, we talked a little bit on the lacrosse show this week about the blue division, and there's another shot by Bradman. And Bradman, it's just he buries everything. It's crazy, and you know that he's seen a lot of those shots. It's just kind of a little subtle movement, and then takes a couple quick steps and gets his hands free, and then just buries it. It's so quick, and you can see how disappointed Johnny Rodriguez is. Guys that played against each other in college, and he's seen just hundreds and hundreds of shots coming from Sam Bradman, and there's just nothing you can do to stop it. It's incredible. That's 3 for him on the night. But really, really great play. And this is one of those times, I think it was Vegas last year, where Bradman went out and had 8 goals. I mean, it just put the team on his back. And it was one of those times where he couldn't miss. It was incredible. I mean, he was taking shots from the parking lot and lighting them up top shelf. But like I was talking about before with the championships in Denver, we talked a little bit about the Blue Division and how the Iroquois are back in, which I think is great for the sport. I'm happy that they're back in, but Germany got pushed out of the Blue Division, and so that's disappointing for them. But I mean, I think it's probably the right call. So definitely check that out when we're talking some World Lacrosse. And Maverick still working through their defense, and then Bratton gets his hands free, able to get it to Bitter, moving the ball well as Corp gets inside, and another trail check. And again, we're talking about the defense and how well they're playing. And just under 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. So 1-goal lead for Team STX. As Prosser able to get out of that double team and get the ball to Bratton. You can see they want to try and make him go right, but he's definitely shown that he's more than capable of scoring righty. Definitely a real cannon with the left, but he gets his hands free inside, takes the shot, and that one just off the mark. And you can see Bratton not happy with himself on that one after that shot. And I mean, he's just got to finish that. The big low to high rip, and that one just off the mark as well. A lot of good shots for Maverick. Can't quite get those right on the cage. As Bitter looking to get his hands free. And it looked like he had the opportunity. And there's Prosser with the shot again, just off the mark. And we talked about this. It's Maverick. It's not a matter of them not having the opportunities to score goals, as we've seen Corp come across a few times. It's great defense and poor finishing. And I mean, if they start getting those on the cage, then they could really do some exciting things on the offensive side of the field and really kind of try and pull away in this game.
Second raffle winner for the LXMPRO jersey. Ticket number 2957111.
See, Davis brings the ball up for STX.
Ticket number 2957111. If that is your ticket number,
there's Ritz. It's back to Baum. Baum working on Pollard. And Pollard, doing a good job of not overextending himself. Nice look inside to Ritz. And that's fantastic defense coming from Tintel, able to just disrupt the pass enough, getting in there with his stick, trying to go over the head. As you see Johnny Rodriguez with the jump pass to Prosser. Prosser trying to get inside, not going anywhere. As you see STX doing a really good job of getting back on defense and nowhere to go for Prosser.
10 minutes here, 10 minutes.
Here's Crum, just under 10 minutes to go in the quarter. Back up top, Bratton wants it. He's got the shorty. Gets his hands free, takes the shot. And again, just off the mark, but lots of really good opportunities. And again, trying to get to all of your questions, comments, tweets, everything I can. So keep those coming at CMarshallTLN on Twitter, and I will get to as many of them as I can. We got some more questions about the face-off coming in, and it's been pretty much Tintel and Max Davis so in a few minutes. But a really good good quarter, good half in general for Team Maverick. And you see what they're able to do, not only on the offensive side but on the defensive side of the ball. And I mean, I think that's what's most important. I'm obviously impressed by what they're able to do offensively, but defensively, it's really great. I mean, you got Garvey and Lamb and Hamilton Pollard and Rodriguez. Guys really playing well, and Ferguson as well too, playing in his first event, really playing well. And I mean, you look at the firepower that with Harrison and Bradman and Baum, and the fact that they're able to just contain them for entire quarters is incredible, and really impressive. And that's the same kind of thing you're seeing out of Team STX as well. Really impressive. And that's the same kind of thing you're seeing out of Team STX as well. More about the team defense that they're playing rather than the individual play. But the team defense is fantastic. If you look at the way that they set up, it almost looks like they're in a zone because they're packed so tightly in there, and they're coming to help so quickly. And I mean, I think that's what's really been giving Maverick trouble on the offensive side, because you see when they're coming inside, the double is so quick that they can't get the shot off, or the shot is disrupted by the stick going into the angle, either hitting them with the trail check or going with a lift on the elbow, and it's really great. Just about ready to get back to the action here after that timeout from Team STX, as Bradman moves the ball over to Ritz and then back down to Baum. Again, just a couple minutes to go here as Bradman taking the ball. Quick double there coming from Tintle, and what a pickoff play. Bale Rodriguez read that one very well, and then right to Tintle. Tintle showing some wheels, looking really fast in those tights. Tell you what. And then Tintle able to get the ground ball after it was checked out of his stick, and then Bitter coming inside, getting all that contact, takes the shot. And then what a save by Russell. Unbelievable play. Just diving all over the place to be able to get that one. I don't know how he got in front of that, but you see Bitter just fighting through 3-4 guys, putting his head down and just going after it. His Baum has it and able to get it to Ritz. Ritz working on Ferguson, takes the shot, and that one off the mark, and it's going to be backed up by Maverick, which is a huge play for them with just over 3 minutes to go in the game. Maverick playing very well right now. Prosser bringing the ball up. Prosser bringing the ball across, has a couple goals himself today. Really kind of having a fantastic game, kind of a breakout game for him even, having joined the tour earlier this season. Again, Maverick going for the holding it down. Nice kayak check there, throwing the kitchen sink. And Crum with the ball up top, way out of where we're used to seeing him. Let's see if STX goes at him. He's able to get the ball to McCarthy, and now McCarthy has a head of steam, headed towards the middle, and now has the shorty matchup. And I think this is probably the matchup they're going to want to try and exploit. I mean, I know that Max Davis is a very capable short stick defender. As you see Russell coming out of the cage here, and gets beat. Ball back up to Corp. Corp opts to not shoot it, but with 2 minutes to go, interesting to see STX go to this high pressure look with Russell out of the cage, and then almost picked off. And again tipped. The ball's up and then picked up by STX. Move the ball up. Here's Casimir trying to get the ball across, picks it up, loses the handle, and then finally gets it, and then goes for the sellout check, and then takes the shot. It buries the goal. What a shot by Casimir. Like that one might have been on the outside, but unbelievable play. That's a huge play. And I mean, the first goal I've seen Cas score on the tour this season, and definitely not a guy who's known for his offense, but unbelievable goal. And not only the fact that it was a good shot and a good goal, but huge timing. I mean, that's a clutch goal coming from another one of those guys who you aren't used to seeing on the score sheet, but huge. And you could tell how fired up he was in that replay. I mean, he's yelling at the attackman, you know, get into the game. We got this. So definitely exciting. Another exciting finish here between these two teams. 1 minute 40 seconds. Tintle able to come away with the face-off. No one's going to him. Maverick really taking notes on some of the things that have been happening earlier this season, where they haven't been able to close out these games, and really going back to the well. 92 seconds to go in the game, 2-goal lead for Maverick. So it's going to be a procedure call, and that one going against Tentel, as Davis is going to bring the ball in. Again, under 90 seconds, under a minute and a half to go in the game. And again, another exciting finish. Pretty much all of the games this season have been within 2 or 3 goals. A lot of them won going down to some of the last plays as Bradman takes the shot, and what a save by Rodriguez, and then picked up by Brown, and Brown buries it right on the crease. And it's just a hustle play. You can tell Rodriguez is disappointed in that one, but really just picking up the trash, and you see what a fantastic save there. And then you see the defenseman try and flip it out, and then Brown is right there to just pick it up and dunk it. I mean, and that's what you need out of those crease attackmen. And you see both of them doing it right now. You see Crum as well as Brown just in there grinding, picking up the trash, making the most of their opportunities. It's a 1-goal game, 1 minute 11 seconds to go. You couldn't ask for a more exciting game here. Looks like it's going to be a timeout for STX. That's a real heads-up call coming from the sideline. You could hear all the players calling for the timeout and going to make that call. And you couldn't have a more heads-up call. I mean, you see there's Tintel coming in, there's Ferguson coming in, and they're looking right at Davis, who has the stick right in close to his body, but isn't really making any progress. And I mean, that's a really, really heads-up play. And this is kind of the script that we've seen here, where both of these teams go late into the game. Usually STX is down about a goal or two and able to claw their way back, give the ball to Bradman, give the ball to Baum, give the ball to Harrison, and they go in there and just bury goals. And then you have some of these other guys, a new player like Brown or Kaz coming down the field and scoring huge goals, pressure goals. Not just goals that are in the stream of play, but goals that are really, really important to this team's chances of winning. And I mean, that's what makes this so exciting, and especially this matchup, this rivalry is so real. You see the guys get a little chippy after some of the plays. I mean, we're all friends here, but these guys absolutely want to win this game, and it's exciting to watch. And I'm happy to be here and happy to be able to bring this fantastic lacrosse game to all of you. And just about ready to get back to the action here, as Baum going to bring the ball in, gets a lane, takes the shot, and that one off the stick, and then flipped out by Rodriguez to Garvey. And Garvey gets it back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez taking it across himself, all alone, and then able to another timeout. This one coming from the Maverick sideline, and let's see what the ref's going to let him have it. It looked like that ball might have been in the air, and you can hear STX not very happy about this. 48 seconds to go, and they're mad. Let's see what the refs are going to huddle over there and talk about it. And looks like they might take this back. I'm not sure how they'd be able to do that, but it's definitely a really fortunate call, but a very heads-up play by Coach JB on the Maverick sideline. Again, just 48 seconds to go, 1-goal lead for Maverick, and it's so exciting. I'm really excited. I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice, but keep your tweets coming in. Vote for the player of the game, and I'd love to hear who you think it should be. Get your votes in at CMarshallTLN. Again, that's at CMarshallTLN. And just a 1-goal game again, like I just said, between Maverick and STX. And this is the exact same scoreline we've seen in some of these other events. Especially you look at the event in Utah, where that game came down to one last shot, and Bitter getting just stuffed on the doorstep by Russell with about 5 seconds to go, and you hear them calling for the ball back up the top as Bitter's going to have it. And I mean, I think that with no John Christmas, Bitter has to be the guy who has this ball, and he'd be able to fight through the double and not lose the ball. As you see Russell out of his cage. And Bitter just tries to split it, has the ball in his stick, runs right through Irwin, and then able to get the ball all the way across the field. 42 seconds to go. Russell way out of his cage, trying to stay with McCarthy. McCarthy, again, one of those guys who's really speedy, throws the rusty gate. 30 seconds to go, and then nice little flip pass to Corp, and right back up to Bitter. And Bitter all the way across the field, dangerous pass. A little bit of a hospital ball, but 20 seconds to go. Maverick doing a really good job of keeping the ball away from the pressure. Back up to Bratton, 15 seconds to go. And they've got a double, getting that big cross-field pass going. 8 seconds. Looks like Maverick's going to be able to come away with the victory as he throws it way up in the air. And there's 2-1, and that's going to do it here in Nevada. LXMPRO 7:02, big victory for Team Maverick, able to keep their hopes alive on the series. Just a few more events to go, but an opportunity to tie this up if they win out. And definitely an exciting finish. And it looks like Maverick has finally learned their lesson from letting STX back in the game, but doing a fantastic job defensively, especially at the end of that game. Johnny Rodriguez coming up with some big saves and some big checks coming from the defense, but doing a great job of keeping the ball on offense and not going back to the cage. And you see the way that they were able to get away from the pressure. I mean, some of the balls lobbed in there a little bit, but definitely the way that you have to do it, doing it the right way, rather than trying to go to the cage, even though you know that it's empty, and doing the right thing. Because if you miss that, then maybe the ball gets going the other direction, get on a fast break, give up an unsettled goal, and then you're looking at overtime. But this is a wonderful game and a fantastic finish, and exactly what you come to expect in the matchup between these two teams. And again, we'll be stay tuned for the player of the game, all fight, no flight, Adrenaline player of the game. Really exciting. There's so many good players on the Maverick team that it's hard to choose just one. But stay tuned, and we'll have an interview live from the field with the player of the game. Again, the victory 13-12 for Team Maverick over STX. Cutting the lead to 2 games, at 5-3 after a string of victories for Team STX. You can see we talked about how much passion these guys have for the game, and they're all friends afterwards. You see them shaking hands. A lot of sportsmanship out there, but when they're out on the field, you can see it. They're fired up. Talking some trash, doing some things, but really exciting play. We're gonna take a look at some of the goals here, some of the best goals, and there were certainly quite a few of them. There's the start off the scoring with Whit McCarthy, able to bury it, and then there's Bratton coming across again. Mavericks starting hot right at the beginning. And Prosser able to do a really good job as well, as he had a breakout game for Maverick today. Well, welcome back. I'm here with the Adrenaline Player of the Game, Billy Bitter. 3 goals, really looking sharp out there. I mean, what was the difference for you today?
I think it was a whole team effort in general. Nick Pinn on the face-off. He's such a workhorse, playing offense, defense, and getting the ball in the offensive end. The other great thing is, our middies dodging and getting the ball through X. Is this better? All right, cool. Yeah, and one, you zooming in? Come on, one. All right, yeah. So it was a whole team effort. At both ends of the field. Defensively, J-Rod, in the cage, making unbelievable saves. He made point blank save against Matt Brown, one of the best finishers of all time, and it was just an overall great team effort. And I commend the other side of the ball, Team SDX, making us battle all game long, and it was a ton of fun out there today. And fortunately we came out with the W and had a blast.
Yeah, and one of the things I always like to talk about with your game is how you're not afraid of contact, and how you're coming in and you take that extra step on the inside. I mean, how important is that extra step when you're taking those shots on the crease? It's
super important. It gives you that extra angle to shoot at the cage, because a lot of times I'm not even looking at the cage when I'm shooting, believe it or not. Just knowing that I have that extra step, and I'm in a spot where if I just shoot, close my eyes and shoot, the ball's gonna get on cage, and I just hope it goes in. And fortunately today, 3 of them did. And again, that's what I'm always teaching the younger kids, to take the extra step. You're wearing the right, the proper equipment. Wear your mouthpiece. It's a game you're gonna get hurt in, but more of smaller, aches and bruises, and you just fight through it and worry about it after the game. And I promise you're gonna be all right.
I mean, and offensively, I mean, even just all together, offense and defense, the fourth quarter looked like about the most complete quarter that you guys have been able to put together all season. I mean, is this something we can look forward to for the next couple events?
Definitely. It has a lot, has a lot to do with the veterans of the team. Sean Lindsay, helping us lead, going into the fourth quarter, and then Nick Tinnell, another leader of ours, pushing us through and talking to us and letting us know that, if we keep playing like this, we can come out with a lot of wins on this tour. And fortunately today we did. And again, it was overall team effort, both sides of the ball, and everyone joined in on that W.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
Adrenaline Player of the
pleasure.
Game,
Thank
Billy
you, guys.
Bitter. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Definitely be sure to tune in next week. We're going to be in Cocoa Beach, Florida for the LXMPRO Tour stop there, and we're going to see Team Maverick and Team STX go at it again. So definitely look out for that one. As always, I'm Chris Marshall. Stay laxy.
Thank you. Good?
Yep.